Welcome to The Strategic Edge, the podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners who want a competitive edge in the market. They want to be seen as the expert in their industry, and they're looking for cutting edge and innovative strategies that work across industries to help them scale their business like a boss. My name is Carden, and I'm your host. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the Strategic Edge this week, as I am going to dive into your client experience, your customer service, taking care of your clients as you're scaling your business. Often as people are scaling into those bigger numbers, multiple 6 and 7 figures, they're bringing in a lot more clients. Maybe you generate leads, so you have a very high demand for your services and you're getting a lot of clients through the door, but you're losing them out the back door as fast as you're getting them in the front door. You're not accomplishing anything in your business doing this. In fact, it's very costly and it really cuts into your profits. So it's important that as your business really grows and you begin scaling your business, that your focus really becomes again about the client and the customer. One of the reasons Amazon has become the conglomerate that it has is because Bezos said from the very beginning it was going to be about the customer experience. That was his philosophy. That's what he built his entire business on. That was his mission statement. And he cared about the customer first. And if you are in scale mode and you are not really looking at, okay, am I taking care of my clients? Is their experience great? Am I there for them? Am I delivering amazing results for them? If you're not doing that, you have a business that basically is going to break, because again, it doesn't make any sense to get people through the front if you're losing them out the back, and it will cost your company a lot of money. So the first thing is, when your business is in growth mode, when you're scaling, you want to make sure that that client experience or that customer experience is great from the very first phone call or from the very first sales conversation. And so do you have a process in place to be able to do this? I know when I was building multiple businesses through the years, I had a lot of brick and mortar businesses, and people would call us, right? So we had to make sure that from the very first phone call, they had a great experience. And a lot of companies don't do this. I mean, I remember hearing a coach one time say, people put their worst people on the phone. They put the people that they don't pay very much on the phone, and it doesn't help their company. And really, if you don't make that experience great from the very first phone call, you have the potential to lose a client or lose a customer. And so that always stuck with me. And when I began coaching and consulting people in their businesses, this is one of the first things I look at. In fact, I will even do so much as to have someone make a phone call to their company or to their business to find out what is that first phone conversation like. But if you're an entrepreneur and you're doing most of your work online, you're probably getting into sales conversations. So is that first step, is it a great experience for people, or is it a bad experience? And so this is where you want to make sure that you've really got a clean process that doesn't make people feel pushed or icky, doesn't make them feel like you don't care about them. In fact, that sales conversation is all about them and only about them. It's not about you until you decide if there's someone that you can help. So you have to make that sales conversation all about the person, all about serving them, all about seeing what it is they need, what they want, what they're interested in, and then you can actually share your services and how you can help them. I personally like to let the client or the prospect ask me, hey, Ann, what is it like to work with you? How much do you charge? I want them to ask me, because to me, that then gives me the permission to share what it is I do and how I can help them. So the very first call, the very first conversation with potential clients and prospects should be a really good experience. Now, once you actually close that sale with that client, what is your onboarding process? This is something a lot of people don't have a good experience with. I will tell you, I hired a marketing agency and it took 3 weeks for them to take my money. 3 weeks. After I said yes, it took them 3 weeks, and then it took them another week to onboard. In fact, I was so discouraged, I was already looking for another company. I was really ready to walk away. And the reason is they were getting so many clients, they were in such hyper growth mode that they couldn't handle everything. Well, that's a business problem. So really you shouldn't even be taking on more clients until you can fix that problem. So he ended up almost losing me. Fortunately for him, I didn't find someone else in the meantime. And then they took my money, and then it took them another week to get me onboarded. And it's just been a long process. And the whole experience has not been good. And so he is breaking his business, and I even told him that, because he is losing people, and his return rate is so high because he's not taking care of the people that he has. And so this is a problem that happens in a lot of companies. They get so much money coming in that they think, oh, it doesn't matter. But you're not going to be as profitable, and you're going to work awfully hard if that's the kind of business you're running, because all of that front end work takes so much energy and time and even resources, right? It takes a bigger team. There's so much that goes into actually acquiring a customer or a client and then getting them onboarded. Like, that's the biggest piece a lot of times of the work that you're actually doing for that client. So if you don't have that streamlined and really dialed in, you're missing opportunity, and you're probably going to lose sales and clients as a result. So my philosophy is, have a great onboarding process or system, whatever that's going to be for you, and get it really dialed in tight so that people are happy from the very beginning and they feel really good about saying yes to you and yes to your company. When you do this, you'll have people singing your praises. Also, when you give them good results and a good client experience all the way through, and you care about them, you will have people that will be super happy with your services, that they'll be so much more likely to refer people to you. So it's important to really get these things dialed in your business. Your focus needs to be on the customer, on the client. Yes, you still have to run your company. Yes, you still have to run all of the other things going on. But look, at the end of the day, if you're not keeping clients or you're not keeping customers simply because you're not running a good business, then you are wasting your time and you're wasting your resources. So really put your focus on that. If you need to slow down and stop acquiring clients until you fix your client onboarding process, your sales process, and the experience and even the results that you are giving your clients, until you fix those things, you should really slow down the client acquisition piece of it. I know that's hard to do, but again, it doesn't make sense to keep bringing people in if they're not wanting to stay because the experience is not a good one. So think about these things as you're growing and scaling your business. One of the reasons I don't like a volume method in a business is because these are the issues that you end up getting into. A lot of times you don't have the infrastructure in place to really scale that business, and so things start falling through the cracks. And again, your customers and your clients now all of a sudden aren't being taken care of. Maybe they can't get a hold of you. Maybe I remember hiring a marketing agency at one time that the onboarding process and everything was really good, and I was really actually impressed. But once I became a client, they could have cared less. I couldn't get a hold of them. They never showed up for calls that they scheduled with me. It was a terrible experience. Well, he didn't keep me very long. This business did not keep me very long. I'm not going to stay with a business that I can't even have a conversation with you or can't make any kind of a change. And so the whole process was just a bad experience, although it did start out really, really good. But again, so they were putting their focus on volume and putting their focus on bringing more business, and not caring about what they had right in front of them. This is leaving a lot of money on the table, especially if you're an agency where you're doing lead generation, which I have worked with a lot of them. And the one thing that I will say is you have a service that's in high demand, and so you can really have an incredible, profitable, high revenue business if you can get the customer service piece of it really maximized and optimized, and not lose clients as fast as you bring them in. All right, once you bring them in, care about them, take care of them, and keep working to improve the results. Ask your clients, how are you feeling about this? How do you feel about our company? How do you feel about our service? Getting that feedback is a really important piece. And sometimes people don't want to do it. They're afraid to ask. Well, if you're afraid to ask, that means you're not doing something the way you need to be doing something in your business. Because if you're really caring about the person and you're doing your very best with them and you're giving them everything you've got, and you care about the results and what they bought into, you should not feel bad about asking them, hey, how can we be better? How can we improve what we're doing? What would work better for you? Or what would you like to see that maybe we're not doing? Those questions are super important. You can do it through a survey. You can do it through simply asking them when you're having a conversation with them. But you want to continue to get that feedback from them. Why do you think a lot of big companies now send you text messages and surveys? Because they want to know how they're doing. What they record calls because they want to know how they are doing, because they're consistently looking to improve the client customer experience. Now, as a smaller business, this is super, super important for you. And a lot of people just aren't doing a good job. But it's like I said, it's one of the reasons I don't like a volume method. I believe when you work with more premium clients and you work with fewer clients and you work with them at higher fees, not only do you have a more profitable business, but you have a more streamlined business. It takes less to manage. It's easier to scale. And you can deliver a much better result for your client, and you can deliver a much better experience. And you can do all of this while getting more time and freedom into your life from your business. So if you're in a volume type of business, it's going to be a harder business model, and you're going to have to work a lot harder to really keep it streamlined and make sure that things are not falling apart on the inside. I know so often, I can't tell you how many companies I worked with that were in hyper growth and were making millions of dollars, but they didn't have the infrastructure in place to be able to handle that work and handle that load. And so they had unhappy customers, they had things falling through the cracks, just like what I experienced with different people that I hired. You couldn't get a hold of them, you couldn't speak with anyone. And so these are all things that will eventually break your business. And even more than that, they will give you a bad reputation. And I know you don't want that. So I hope this was helpful for you today. I hope that take a look at your business. Are you delivering the best client experience? Are you onboarding clients as fast as possible so that and in a great way, so they feel really good about the buying decision that they made? Buyer's remorse comes a lot when you give people too long in between the time you close the sale and the time you actually get them onboarded. So if you've got too much of a gap or a lapse in there, a lot of times they'll change their mind, or they'll start looking for someone else, or they'll just they'll have this buyer's remorse, and you don't want that. So get people onboarded as quickly as possible in the best way possible. Get your processes and your systems really dialed in to care about the client, give them a great experience, give them great results, and you will have an amazing business that can be around for a really long time. So I hope this episode was helpful for you. If I can help you grow and scale your business into multiple 6, multiple 7 figures, and do it with less time, energy, and even resources, money, then I would love to have a conversation with you and make sure that you're not breaking your business, and help you really scale in the right way so that you can be around for a long time to come. And you can have a business that isn't overwhelming and where you're overworked, but you can have a business where you actually enjoy it and you have freedom in your life to enjoy the money you're making in your business. So I love to help people build a great business, a great bank account, and a great life from their business. If I can help you, all you need to do is click the link below, acarden.com, and it will take you right to my calendar to book a call, and I can't wait to talk to you. So I hope this is helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast and hit the notification if you enjoyed this, because every week on Wednesday we release a brand new podcast to help you grow and succeed in your business. Have an amazing day. God bless you. Bye-bye.